Hey guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? Welcome to the final not too bad out day. As you can see, we're overcasted with storm clouds. Got a bit of sunlight coming in, but nothing really awesome to write home about. Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're calling for rain. Monday is going to be sunny and finally warm. It's not warm enough out there to really do any projects that I want to do, like painting the car, because you need it to be at least 16 to 26 degrees Fahrenheit for the paint to cure properly, and we're currently sitting at 10 degrees. So that is not going to happen today. Assuming the grass is wet, so mowing the lawn today is probably not advisable. Judging by the scrapings of my feet on the lawn and how wet my feet are, my assumptions are correct. Well, let me just get rid of this bag of garbage instead of taking it for a tour around the town. There's my trash can. Something I wanted to do is come out here. I remember last year when I built my bed, there was a chunk of plywood left over. And you think I can remember where the hell I put that chunk of plywood? Did I chuck that down here? So much stuff down here I need to go through and get rid of. I'm gonna clean up this desk and see if I can sell it for a couple bucks. Is that a fishing net? I think it's a fishing net. Yeah, this is that fishing net that I got for free, but it's a little kife. I want to modify it for kayak use. I was thinking about just sleeving it or throwing dowel on it or something. Oh, there it is. Piece of plywood. That's a bit too thick for what I want to do. I was thinking about building the UV bait holder, like the container, and then mounting the lights in it so that when I do want to spray paint a bait, I can just paint it. I was going to mount it on that wall right there, just run the cord over and plug it in to power the USB bits, the UV lights, and that way there I could have it just sitting over there and ready to rock. Not quite sure what to do with myself today because, like I said, putting stuff in the shed, bringing the car in, prepping it and painting it, it won't cure right in the cold, and we'll just be back to square one where it looks all friggin' like shite. Now this area here is trying to make a comeback, and this we don't want. So what I'm thinking is I do have a box of borax in the garage somewhere. I'm gonna crack it open and we're gonna lay that down, because if it's gonna rain tomorrow, that'll seep into the ground and it should theoretically kill off everything there. Yes, I do have a box of borax now. Did this get wet over the winter? Pretty sure it did. Pretty sure it did. Oh no, it didn't. Okay. All right, I'm gonna try and open this up. Yeah, I got plenty of time to do what I want to do for projects. Summer hasn't even begun yet. I kept having to tell Bloke that. He's like, this is a horrible summer. And I'm like, it's not summer yet, dude. We just got into spring not too long ago. But I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle this all over the ground if I can. And this should get into the ground soil when it rains. Next, kill everything off. Stuff's not harmful to animals, so I don't mind using this. If a raccoon comes over and picks up one of those big clumps and eats it, worst case scenario that happens to him, it just gets the wicked poops. But one would think raccoons already have the wicked poops from all the human trash they eat when they raid a dumpster. You're probably wondering why I want all this gone. It's because I do want to put another shed back here. I would like this here to be all killed, and I want to dig it up and flatten it. I don't know how I'm going to attach the shed, what technique I'm going to use. Like I said, when it rains tomorrow, this will all get soaked into the ground level, and then it should disrupt the root system of these plants and kill everything off. This would have been a lot easier if I didn't put the box on the ground and it didn't get wet when the garage normally floods. But unfortunately, my hindsight is not 2020. If you're wondering why I keep banging against the concrete, it's because I'm trying to get every last little bit out. There we go. So, freaking good old borax, nature's freshener, and Canadian Tire's weed killer. I think she probably had a better tan before this box got solar bleached. There's a kitty cat in the window. But yeah, I haven't had any dirt daubers in here for the past 2 weeks since I set off this thing. And I don't know if it's because of this thing or because I have this bucket here covering that hole. So one of the two did the job. I'm pretty sure they have a nest down there, or a bunch of nests, and that's where they're coming from. So yeah, there's a bunch of shit down here. I do want to get that tiller out, replace the carb. I have a spare carb for it. I'm going to sell that. Somebody's going to want a little roll behind tiller, little 2-stroke operation, and I'm going to get rid of that. Also down there is a shredder, tree shredder. To rent one at the time was going to cost me $160, but then I found one on Kijiji for $100 to own it. I don't know what you call them, brush shredder, limb shredder. Anyway, you can put small up to 3/8 inch diameter pieces of wood in there and it turns it into wood chips. Wood chipper, that's the word. That's the word I'm looking for. So yeah, I don't need it anymore. I don't need to hang on to it. It works, it runs, it fires. I got it all up and running and then took the blades off and gave them to Dad and he sharpened them for me. Had them sharpened at it when he worked in the machine shop and it did pretty good damage. She's a loud operating device and it worked amazing. Made plenty of wood chips to throw around the yard for mulch or whatever. But now I don't need it. And I've had it since 2018 and haven't used it once. So I'll probably get that listed. What I might do today, can I find that carb that I bought for this thing? I know I put it in the toolbox because I had full intentions on installing it and testing it. Because I had this stupid idea a while ago of converting a portion of my lawn into a garden. That never happened because I jumped on the carnivore bandwagon. And honestly, if you think about all the time you spend gardening, then you end up with more food you can eat. I have no idea where the hell I put the carb for that thing. Probably could just pull that carb and clean it, but I know I bought a cheap Chinese carb for it off of Amazon for like a couple bucks. Do you think I can remember where I put that? I think I also wanted it for tilling up the area where I mowed a bunch of times to kill off the raspberry bushes and just never got around to it. What the frick reel is this? Got another reel sitting here with braid on it and I have no idea what the hell it is. Huh, freaking fishing reels galore, boys. But yeah. Didn't leave it up there, did I? No. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about maybe getting the tiller up and running and listing that today because somebody might want it for gardening season and I don't need it. Or I could just list it as is. I don't care how much money I get for it. I just might as well get rid of it. I don't have my phone on me for listing things. All right, gonna sit you guys down. I'm gonna get that tiller out. Yeah, so I don't know how much one of these things is actually worth. I really don't care because I really don't need it. So I'm just gonna put it up. They ask me if it works. I'll just say probably needs a carb cleaning, but other than that, it should be good. 25 bucks. Has a little handle here. I don't know, for carrying it, I guess. Already has a price tag on it. What's the price tag say? It's got someone's freaking phone number on it. So, future Adam, when you're editing this, take that phone number out. Where did I put that knife? I just had it when I was opening. There it is. Let's get that off, because if we're selling it, we can't sell it with personal contact information. Mind you, that phone number's an old exchange. Probably doesn't even work anymore. All right, so it's an old Mantis, Southampton, I guess PA's Pennsylvania. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and mark it, put it up on Facebook Marketplace. I gotta go grab my phone for that. We'll see if we can get rid of it. Might as well. We're not gonna use it. We're never gonna use it because we really don't need it. I honestly see no point in hanging on to something that we're not gonna use. So I might as well start cleaning house and getting rid of junk. You know, bloke kind of, I'll be honest, man. He friggin' inspired me to do this. Mind you, he's picking up, like getting stuff, refurbishing it and selling it for more. Like, so what I'm doing and what he's doing is two separate doings. But he inspired me to do this when I was down there. I was thinking, I'm like, you know, I got a bunch of junk in the shed. I'm like, oh, I really need to reorganize this. No, I don't. What I need to do is get rid of it. If somebody turned around and said, I'll give you $5 for that tiller. All right, bring me the $5 and take the stupid thing. That's $5 more than I had before. I know I didn't pay much for it, but the money lost is whatever. I think I only paid $15 for this thing. I can't remember. I know there's a video out there on it. Back in 2018, 2019, I didn't pay much for it, but yeah. All right, let me get, I thought I had the camera aiming at the thing. I know I didn't pay too much for this thing. It wasn't that expensive. And I'm pretty sure there's a video on it. I bought it back in 2018 for when we did the area over there. I had this idea of tilling the ground to kill the roots, or tilling borax into the ground to make the ground completely uninhabitable for a few years before it was habitable. But I've never used it, so time to get rid of it. I'm gonna go ahead and post the ad now. There we go, published. Now, next up, see, it'd be nice if I could clear this all out and get this back to a workable space. I could move all my woodworking shit down in here. I already got my saw. If I can get rid of whatever's in these totes, either dump run it or sell it, I can move my bandsaw, my freaking sander, and the drill press all down there. Or I could even set up like a bench system on both walls, put the microwave down here, have all the shit down here so that I can basically make baits down here, and I could use my propane heater to heat this area up. I could always hang like a drop cloth or something to segregate this from this in the winter, so it's easier to heat that. I do want to get a better door for the back, because right now that door is literally, the only way to close it is how it's closed right now. You see that wooden lever thing? Well, to open it, you don't twist the handle. You just kind of lift that lever thing and the door opens. And you can't open it all the way. Like if I come over to this door here, because the hinges are on the inside, you can open it all the way. But with this door over here, because this here was made by somebody who's an idiot, I do believe the hinges are on the outside. Yes, the hinges are on the outside. Who does that? So it opens up, but it catches on here, and that's when the problem rises. So normally you want your door to open on the inside, not the outside. Sorry, I just got a message on my phone and I thought it was maybe somebody's already excited to start gardening, but no, it's because every time I walk by that camera, it picks up a human. Same with that camera, picks up a human, and then my phone goes off. It's not supposed to do that when I walk by it. Camera's supposed to know who the frig I am and not give two shits, but that don't seem to be the case. All right, so that's posted, that's good. Also guys, what's in the box? We'll be getting to that at a later date. I think I've already told you, it's a metal smelter for smelting aluminum, iron, copper. I don't think it'll do steel, but you never know. I think what else I'm gonna do here, I wonder if I have the bag for this. This here is the metal cage that goes on this lawnmower so that you can capture grass, and instead of just, you know, sending it into space. I don't know why I brought this out. There's no point in bringing that out. I'll just hang it up where the old weed spread. Dad has my weed and feeder. I brought it to him on last weekend because he wanted, weekend prior, because he wanted to put down some Scott's weed and feed on his lawn. He was gonna buy one, but then he saw the price of them at Canadian Tire and they're like $99.99. He's like, I'm not paying $100 for something I know Adam has hanging in his garage. I used it twice. I laid down, my neighbor across the road, he's got an amazing lawn, and I asked him, I said, what do you do with your lawn? He said, in the spring, I throw down seed like crazy, and then, friggin' chippies in here. I just saw him skirt by. And I was over here doing shit with this. He came running through and he squeezed between the garbage can and the Amazon box. And then he went down there and he's gonna be pissed off when I pull that shredder out, because I'm pretty sure when I look in the hopper for that thing, I'm gonna find a lot of acorns. A lot of acorns, but anyhoozle. Yeah, so I used it in the spring. I overseeded the lawn. Then I did some Scott's weed and feed, and I don't know, my lawn's too far gone to really do anything with it. Some people are like, oh, what you should do is kill it all, lay down some topsoil and put some sod. Okay, so I'm gonna spend $4,000 to sod my lawn, but my neighbor who doesn't care about his lawn, it's gonna get filled with weeds, and our lawns are interconnected. All his shit's just gonna spread back over. I have a better solution. How about not giving a shit about your lawn and just letting it do what it wants to do? And if it looks like an eyesore, blame it on the city, because they won't let us use the good stuff to kill the weeds, and they expect us to do it with salt, vinegar, and dish soap. Yeah, really don't care if my lawn's an eyesore. I'm never really hanging out in the backyard. I'm never really doing anything like that. But man, I do have quite the backyard that if I wanted to set something up like what Bloke has, where it looks all nice and it's cool and stuff, I could totally pull it off. But instead of using mains power, I think what I would do is get a couple cheap solar panels with some solar batteries, and I would set that up in the spring and then take it down in the fall, and I could put on a good light show in the backyard and stuff and make it look all majestic. But that takes time and effort, and I could give two shits about that. It's not something I really want. It's something he wanted, that's why he did it. But for me, I'm good with the way things are. But I'm gonna get that desk cleared off, bring it up here, wash it down, and list that too. Well, that didn't take long. I already got a bite on the mantis. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So that's gonna be gone. I just posted the desk. I cleaned it up. We'll get rid of this. Like I say about painting the Firebird, I have plenty of time to do that. It's only the end of May, and there's plenty of time to get the old white girl even whiter. Was that racist? Look, I even found the cover for the side, even though it's cracked to shit. I think I had intentions on fixing that, then didn't care because I couldn't get it started. Now watch. I'm going to sell it to this guy. If I could find the new card for it, I would just throw that in because I have no use for it. But the problem is I have no idea where the frick I put it. I know it would be in here. I wouldn't have left it in the house. Or maybe I did. I bet you maybe I did. See that way there? If you say, I bet you maybe I did, you can be a weatherman. And it can be like, it's going to be sunny, cloudy, snowing, and raining with a high of 26 and a low of minus 26. And that way there, you're not wrong. You can keep your job. Life goes on. So I bet you I maybe left it in the house. It's definitely a 100% valid statement to make. And that way there, if you didn't, you only said maybe. It's a potential, but I think I ordered that around the same time I ordered the Foxconn for the truck to mess around with the computer system, to change a few parameters. But yeah, let me have a look-see and see if I can find it in this mess I call a room. And that was the easiest thing to find ever. Here it is, brand spanking new carb with the adapter. So there, if Buddy's interested, I'll make his life even easier. What else is in here? Brand new air filter, guessing, I don't know what the heck this is. Spark plug? Too heavy to be a filter. Yep, brand new spark plug for it. 25 bucks. He's getting a deal if he wants it. And I'm freeing up some space in my shed, garage, whatever you want to call it. Sweet. Look at me. Jesus, Murphy. All right, so Buddy replied back, said he would be here between 5:36. I'm guessing he's a working guy, works a 9 to 5, probably looking to set up a little garden at home, you know, grow some cherry tomatoes and some cucumbers and shit. I should grab my wallet. I think I'm gonna take a rip over to the corner store, grabbing some Monster, because I freaking love that kind. I know. Somebody was like, oh man, all the Monster you drink, you're gonna give yourself a cardiac arrest. No. Stop your worrying. I won't get a cardiac arrest. So yeah, on a side note, you know how I used to film with the GoPro Hero 12. That was my vlogging camera. And then I switched over to using the S20. That was my vlogging camera. And then I got wind that the S20 was going EOL. So I bought the Google Pixel 9. That was my vlogging camera. And now this thing is my vlogging camera, the DJI. I forgot about one of the quirks with the GoPro, and I was reminded this morning about that quirk, and we'll talk about that on the drive over to the store. Do I got shit on my face? Can't tell. The screen's too dusty. I need to clean this screen, but yeah, we'll talk about that on the way over to the store. So yeah, one of the quirks of the GoPro that I noticed, and this is because of how I do things, is if I leave it plugged into USB and charging, if I forget to unplug it, like when I'm pulling the video files off the camera, if I don't disconnect it from the computer, because the port that I'm using on the computer to transfer files over for some reason isn't making enough amperage to charge the camera fully, the camera gets really flipping hot, and it'll drain the battery down to the floor because it's producing like, what, maybe an amp, and the camera's drawing 1.5 amps, so over time it doesn't keep up, but the light will stay on. The camera gets so hot that it no longer works. You got to cool it down. I have to pull the battery out, put it in the individual charger to repair it, and then go from there. And it's kind of a pain in the ass. I forgot about that problem where you need to turn off the GoPro or otherwise it will basically screw up. This camera here, this DJI, if I have it plugged into my computer and I download all the media off of it, if I turn it off to let it charge off the USB in the computer, there's something in the camera that detects that it's connected to a computer and not a charger, and it just keeps turning itself back on and then turning itself back off, turning itself back on, turning itself back off. I thought it was a problem with the camera. Turns out it's just the way the camera works. So you'll be working on your computer and then all of a sudden you hear dee-doo-doo, doo-doo-dee, and then like a window, a file explorer window pops up to show you the contents of the card, the SD card in it. 5 minutes later it goes away, and then it comes back, and then it goes away, and then it comes back. And that's just how these cameras work. So when I've used it for long days, what I'll normally do is I'll disconnect it and plug it into my USB desk charger, which is just a 2.4 amp charger sitting on my desk that charges via USB. I use it to charge pretty much anything. Cameras, my watch, my cell phone, whatever needs to be USB link charged, it gets plugged into there and it's good to go. So that guy was mowing his lawn. I could theoretically mow my lawn today, I just don't really care to. I'll deal with that next week after it's gotten 4 days worth of rain and grew about 17 feet. Because we all know that's gonna frickin' happen. Debating on going to Canadian Tire and picking up another fishing rod, but do I need more? No. Do I want more? Yeah. Why? Because I'm an addict. I wanted to get another Daiwa aired rod to match my current Daiwa aired rod, but in spinning, then get a Daiwa Laguna reel. But I don't need it, so we're just not gonna bother. Anyway, let's go get some Monster. Sweet Jesus Murphy, the whole time I'm in there. That's one thing I hate about these corner stores is that, I just go in and I buy stuff, but this girl that you're seeing here getting into this white vehicle, she's arguing with the guy because she's playing some friggin' lottery game, but they're only allowed to cash out in this game $100 per store, and she's like arguing with him like, but no, I want to play this one, and he's like, I can't honor this because we've already done this. Like, you've already done the $100 here. You have to go to another look. I don't understand the rules of it, but he's trying to explain the rules. There was a language barrier between, she sounded like she was like, I don't know, like a Russian accent, and he was East Indian. So obviously there was a conflict barrier of individuals using English as a second language and trying to explain the scenario. And I just want to buy my damn Monster, and I'm stuck behind the lineup. There's two of them there. They have two tills, but for some reason the other guy's like watching how he's conducting business, like, put a white hat on, bud, and just become a supervisor. And then finally dude looks back and sees him just sitting there, was staring at him all doe-eyed and stuff, and he's like, can you handle that other client on the other register? And he's like, oh yeah, okay, finally, get my shit. But no, it's like when you go to the gas station and the pay at the pump is down, so they have you come inside to pay inside, and you go inside to pay, and there's that person with the bag of lottery tickets to get them all checked, and they're literally holding up the till for half an hour, like holding it hostage because they need to get their fix, their lottery check. Like, it's one thing to buy one ticket a week, but when you're spending your entire old age pension on gambling, you might want to seek therapy because obviously you have a problem and you need to get a solution, because that's a bit too much. But now I got my Monster Energy drink, so that's good. I'm just happy that sold. I was like, who the hell's gonna want to buy a tiller? Now, mind you, it's probably worth $100, but I really don't care because I was pretty much gonna contact my friend and be like, can I borrow your trailer, and just load that entire shed into the dumpster at the dump. I was just gonna do a dump run and get rid of everything in there. I'm talking to Dad about that oak door because he gave me the oak door, and I'm like, what are we gonna do with it? He goes, I don't know. And I'm like, then I want to get rid of it. And he's, you can't throw that out. That's a good door. Well, that's the signs of a pack rat. You can't throw that out because that's a good door, but you have no use for it, because honestly, if I put a new door on the back of my house, it's not going to be that door. It's going to be one of those steel doors with the with either a window in it or no window in it, but it's going to be a good steel door. So I honestly have no use for that door. So this whole idea, but it's still good, you know, fine, then I'll put it on Kijiji for $25 and get rid of it. Like, somebody else can make it a good door because I have no use for it and I don't want that shit in my house anymore. So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to start just selling or dump running and getting rid of stuff that I no longer need or have use for, so that I'm not so cluttered up with crap because somebody else thinks that I need to hang on to it because it has value. It might have value to them, then they should hang on to it, not me. Getting kind of sick of other people's crap cluttering my style. You know what I'm saying, Vern? Alrighty, well, I got about 2 hours before Buddy comes over to buy that tiller. I'm gonna go in the house, have a Monster, and make something to eat. I'm hungry, and then we'll go from there. Holy crap, guys. My cat just sneezed in my ear, but besides that, it's just been non-stop. And now I see what Bloke's talking about. Like, I only posted 2 items. Bloke's got like 25 up. My phone has been blowing up non-stop. People wanting the desk, people wanting the tiller. I got a lady coming over right now. Well, it could be a guy. I'm doing something different than what Bloke's doing. Bloke has a second Facebook account just for selling shit. I won't tell you the name of it, but he's got his primary Facebook account. That's like when he told me he was always on Marketplace, I thought he was back on Facebook, like he was actually using Facebook again. I'm gonna grab my wallet in case this person comes over with a 20 and a 10 and we need to crack a 10 into a 5. But yeah, Bloke made a separate Facebook account away from his. And you see that a lot on Marketplace, right? Like, you go to buy something on Marketplace and the person's name is like Alicia, and it's like this really pretty picture. But then you get there and it's somebody with four teeth and looks like they've been on the Kellogg's Methanese, and it's not them. But I'm just here trying to make room in my garage by selling things that I no longer need, and that's one of them. Don't need it. So I had somebody interested in this desk. I don't know. They said they'll buy it and haven't gotten back to me. So, but they're on their way over. So we'll just go ahead and offload the Mantis, $25. Now, there's probably a reason why people make pseudo accounts for selling things, probably to hide from their friends, but still have the option to sell to their friends, like so their friends can see the listing. But they don't want their friends to initially know they're the ones selling the product. And I get that, because, you know, if your friends know that you're selling something, they might say, well, come on, man, I'm a friend, like, give me a deal. But when they come to your house to pick it up, they're going to be like, oh, it's you. Well, because we're friends, can I have a deal? And you can be like, listen, price firm. Here it is. This is what I have. If you want it, take it, right? So, but then again, to be fair, Bloke's been on YouTube from what? I don't know. I want to say 2005 till 2015, like 10 years of making content on YouTube. Could be wrong on those days. Just go with it. And he has quite the lot of people in London who know who he is. So by making a pseudo account, he can't get stalked by people from YouTube and stuff like that, who will just troll him, even though he no longer makes content, but just to troll him. So, yeah. Side note, while I was down at Bloke's, I thought about shooting a video with him, doing it on my cell phone or whatever, just editing it on the fly on my cell phone, editing the YouTube studio editor, and then uploading it to his channel, just to see if I'm right about the algorithm. See, basically, one problem with YouTube is, if I were to like stop making videos now and not make videos for 2 years, and then all of a sudden I started making videos again, 99.9% of you would not see that video in your feed. It would not show up in your home feed. It would not show up in your subscription feed. Because you haven't watched anything of mine in such a long time, I'm no longer in your algorithm. So that causes a problem. Anyway, I'm gonna crack this bay door. So that when the person comes, I can just grab this thing, pay me my cash, and we're good. And I should clear off that tray. See, originally this desk here, what I was thinking was using it for truck camping, because I could put the Opus power station on the bottom shelf and then just put some drawers in the middle and the upper shelf, then have the top to put something on, knock the wheels off of it and just sit it flat on the floor and go from there. But then after sitting it in the truck with the wheels going, okay, well, it's going to lower it this much. I was like, that's not really worth it. That's not going to work out that well. So I was like, yeah, screw that. Screw that. We're not going to go that route. Then I thought of bringing it in the house and putting the 3D printer on it and then using the shelves underneath to store like filament and things. But then decided against that. Thought it, like, so I was going to move the 3D printer to the living room downstairs. It's all wireless printing. I can send a print job to it, let it do its thing so it's not making noise in my room. It'd be downstairs doing all the printing. I gotta have all the filament on the bottom shelf, printer on the top shelf. It's in a corner doing its job and not distracting me. And I can monitor it remotely through a camera. And if something goes wrong during a print that I have to go and examine it, I can just get up, go downstairs and deal with it and then come back. But honestly, I like my setup the way it is. So if somebody wants this, they can have it. Also, do I have any trim clad left? I thought I had a can of trim clad over here in my corner of random paints. I got the mineral spirits there. I don't think I have any trim clad left. Did I just I think I bought like a small can of it. I don't think I bought a big gallon of it. Gonna have to look into that. So yeah, I'm editing my video and the whole time I'm getting interrupted. My freaking phone's blowing up. People, I had a lot of interest in the Mantis. Like, a lot of people want this. And I really don't care that I'm selling it for less. Obviously, I'm lowballing right now. I am literally selling this for frig all. I know this. I'm well aware. Anybody in the comments going, oh, you could have easily made 50 bucks off of that. You could have easily made... I don't care, because honestly, this here would have just ended up in the dump. So 25 bucks, good enough for what I want. Makes a little bit more room. Like, I got a little bit more floor room down here now. And once I get rid of that wood chipper, that's going to be more floor room. That cooler's still good. That's the cooler that I used to bring to my buddy's house because it has wheels. I can just drag it down his driveway full of sodas. That cooler's never seen beer. Funny story. Got my water cooler for when I go camping so I can just have some water on demand so I can boil it up and make tea or coffee. The old bent out of shape friggin' plug-in lawnmower. Bender, if you will. Gonna have to do something with that. I might just throw that out. Because honestly, the Ryobi does everything I needed to do. I was using Bender because I didn't care if I broke it. When I did the raspberry bushes back there, I straightened, like a friggin' shed fell on it and crushed it. So when I was doing the raspberry bushes and cutting them back, I did it all by hand for like 5 days and then saw this free lawnmower on Kijiji or on Facebook. Fell in a shed, don't know if it works, blah, blah, blah. Bring it home, get it working, straighten the bars, and then just started chopping through all the shit. Those 6-amp lawnmowers are nothing to laugh at. They are tough as nails, and if it wasn't for the fact that you had to carry a cable with you when you mowed the lawn, I'm pretty sure more people would use them because they're highly effective. Anyway, that person should be here soon, and we should be able to offload this Mantis. And hopefully this sells today too, because that'd be an awesome closer to the vlog. Well, that's gone. That is gone. The tiller is no more. She gone. Bye-bye. No more tiller. So, next up, and talks about this desk. We'll see if that goes. The guy who was supposed to come pick it up was like, I messaged him and said, hey man, hate to break it to you, but it's gone. Somebody literally just pulled up and bought it, so sorry. And he's like, I thought you were committed to selling it to me. And I'm like, I'm not committed to sell it to anybody. I'm committed to get it sold. So once it's gone, it's gone. Sorry. But the lady I sold it to, an older lady who's big into gardening, and like I told her, I'm like, I literally bought it for one job and I never really used it for that. So it comes with a free carb, free rebuild kit, ready to rock. So have fun with it. They wanted the manual for it. I'm like, yeah, this is how I got it when I bought it. I bought it used and literally for just one job. But buddy's pretty pissed off that I just went and sold it. So yeah, I guess I'm pretty much done out here because I don't really feel like rummaging through anything else. We'll see if this other character gets back to me about buying the desk. And if they do, right on. We'll get that out of here, and well, I guess you can say I made 45 bucks today. So that's pretty sweet. Just dumping junk. Junk that I don't need, that I don't care about, that I haven't used in forever, and there's no reason to hang on to it. So let it go, let it go, let it go. Holy shit, guys, I forgot I was making a video today. Totally just finished streaming for 6.5 hours. Probably one of the most boringest, driest games I've ever played, called My Streamer Life. You'd expect that from the title though. Like literally, you're a streamer on Twitch and you upload to YouTube and you try to make money. And I was streaming that. That's like Streamception, so that happened. Anyway, buddy never got back to me about the desk. I'm pretty sure that's your typical tire kicker. At first, you know, he messages. Let me see if I can bring out the messages here. Where is that freaking guy? He's like, I will buy this. And I'm like, it's still available. When did you want to come by? And he goes, whereabouts are you? So I told him. And that was all there was to write about. There was nothing else from this guy. So I guess he's not interested. Whatever, whatever, whatever. Like I said, if it doesn't sell, I might just bring it in the house and bring the 3D printer downstairs and set it up down there. That way there, when I'm working from home and I want to do a 3D print, I can Wi-Fi connect to it, upload the template, let her rip tater chip, problem solved. Because that might be a better solution, so. Yeah, tomorrow I might go out into the garage and list some more stuff. I don't know. We'll see what we do. We'll see what we do. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. We did sell one thing today. That's awesome. We got some space cleaned up in the garage. Even better. So let's pitter patter, have at her, and get more space cleaned up. Thanks for watching. Until next time, guys, leave a comment, all that other bullshit. Live it to win it, and pace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.